Hey sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. This is the final video in season 1 in which I choose my top 5 favorite cards of a particular player. The final name to be chosen from the Wheel of Names was Duke Snider. Now, Duke Snider was a great outfielder for the Brooklyn and later Los Angeles Dodgers, but he often got overshadowed by the likes of Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron. But nonetheless, he was a great power hitter for the Dodgers, finishing his career with 407 home runs. In fact, he hit the most home runs of any player in the 1950s with 326. So to help me narrow down my choices to pick my top 5 favorite, I went with the PSA Basic Set Registry Checklist. It consists of 20 cards, going from his 1949 to 54 Bowman cards, his 1951, 52, and 54 through 64 Topps cards, and PSA included his 1960 Leaf card in the checklist. Now, here's where I would love all of you to participate as well. In the description of this video, I'll have a link to the PSA Basic Set Registry Checklist, where you can check out all 20 cards of Duke Snider. And from those 20 cards, would love to know in the comments which are your top 5 favorite. And if you could number them 1 through 5, 5 through 1, it'll help me compile the results for next week's video. And if there's some other Duke Snider cards that you really like that are not part of that 20 card list, feel free to put them in the comments as well, and I'll have them as honorable mentions in next week's video. Now, for my top 5 favorite, there have been other players where I really struggled to narrow down my top 5 favorite, and Duke Snider is definitely one of them. I really had a hard time narrowing down my top 5. There were at least 3 or 4 other cards that I really like of Duke Snider that just couldn't crack my top 5, but they are amazingly beautiful looking cards. So it was a real struggle for me, so it'll be interesting to see which top 5 all of you put in the comments. Now, before I get into my top 5 favorite Duke Snider cards, last week's video was on Ernie Banks, and there were several of you who put in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 favorite cards of his. So I'm going to go over the results of your comments there, and there were several honorable mentions as well. Then I'll get into my top 5 favorite Duke Snider cards. I'll turn the camera around and show the one and only Duke Snider card I currently have in my collection. And then rather than spin the Wheel of Names again, since we're done with season 1, I'll talk about what's going to be upcoming for season 2. So let's get started. All right, for Ernie Banks, you had 19 cards to choose from to select your top 5, and they were his 1954 through 1971 Topps cards and his 1955 Bowman card. So there were 10 of you who replied in the comments, and here are the top cards that received the most number of selections. In first place was his 1954 Topps rookie card. 9 of you put that in your top 5, followed by his 1959 Topps card with 6 selections. Then his 1957 Topps card had 5 selections. His 1967 Topps card had 4 selections. Then there was a 5-way tie for 5th place, all with 3 selections. His 1956, 58, 60, 63, and 64 Topps cards. Now, there were 3 Ernie Banks cards that we didn't receive any selections from the 10 who commented on the video. His 61, 65, and 66 Topps cards. Now, there were several honorable mentions, so let's take a look at them. Starting off with his 1958 Topps All-Star card, his 1959 Bazooka, his 1960 and 61 All-Star cards, and then the very popular 1963 Power Plus card along with Hank Aaron. Then we have his 1964 Topps stand-up, his 1965 Topps embossed insert, then his 1971 Topps Greatest Moments, and the last one is a custom card done by When Topps Had Balls in the design of the 1972 Topps set. All right, how did your top selections rank in terms of 1 through 5, and how did that compare to my top 5 favorite Ernie Banks cards? Well, at number 5, you had his 1956 Topps card, which I did not have in my top 5. Then his 1967 Topps card, which was one that nearly broke into my top 5, but didn't quite make it. And number 3 was his 1963 Topps card, which I also had as my third favorite Ernie Banks card. Then at the number 2 spot, you had his 1959 Topps card, which again was another one that was just outside my top 5. And then finally, the general consensus between the 10 people who commented on the video and myself was his 1954 Topps rookie card. All right, let's get into Duke Snider. Again, you have 20 cards to choose from, as did I, ranging from his 1949 to 54 Bowman cards, his 51, 52, wasn't in the 53 Topps set, and then his 64 through 64 Topps cards, and finally his 1960 Leaf card. So for me, at my number 5, I went with his 1952 Topps card. Just love the design of that, and the one thing that I found in looking through Duke Snider cards and images of Duke Snider is he always seemed to be photographed almost looking like he was batting right-handed, but you notice his hands are in the different position there for a left-handed batter, but they always showed him with a very full follow-through swing where it almost looks like he's getting wound up to bat right-handed. But great image there of Duke Snider, the classic design of the 1952 Topps set. So I went with this one here, the 52 Topps card, as my 5th favorite Duke Snider card. At number 4, I went with this 1954 Topps card. Now that greenish background, I think, just goes great with the blue in his uniform, the red Dodgers logo. Again, you have that full follow-through swing in that black and white image where he's completely coiled around after taking a swing or post swing for the camera. But look at the intensity in the color image there, where he's sort of looking off to the side, a bat on his shoulder, the great look of the the Brooklyn Dodgers cap. Just a great looking card there of Duke Snider. At number 3, I went with his 1949 Bowman rookie card. Just love the yellow background there. Again, the blue in the cap and the uniform, and it has Edwin Duke Snider there down at the bottom. Just a great rookie card of his. And again, love the small size of the 1949 Bowman set. So I have his rookie card as my 3rd favorite. Would be interesting to see if you put his rookie card in your top 5 and where that falls within your top 5. At number 2, I went with his 1950 Bowman card. Now, this was a struggle between his 1950 and 51 Bowman cards. For a lot of the for the players in the 50 and 51 Bowman set, they used pretty much the same image. The 51 Bowman is a much larger image than the smaller 50 Bowman set. But the one thing I noticed is that in the 51 Bowman, it was a closer image of Duke Snider, and you can't see as much of the dugout or as much of the stadium seats in the background. So because of the overall image, I went with the 1950 Bowman card, which doesn't have as much of a close-up image of Duke Snider, but the card itself, the overall look of the card, the overall image, I liked better than the 51 Bowman, and just love the 50 Bowman set. They're just small little mini works of art, and just love that card of his. And at number 1, my favorite Duke Snider card, I went with this 53 Bowman color card. Just the smile on his face there, again, bat on the shoulder. It's a standard portrait image, but you gotta love the 1953 Bowman color set, and the Duke Snider card definitely does not disappoint in that set. And it's just one that when I think of Duke Snider, I think of the 1953 Bowman card. I also imagine his 49 Bowman rookie card as well, but this one, again, when I think of Duke Snider, I think of the 53 Bowman card, so I had to put it as my favorite Duke Snider card. All right, turning the camera around now and going to show off the one Duke Snider card that I have in my collection. It's videos like this where I focus on a particular player where I realize I have gaps in my vintage collection, and Duke Snider is certainly one of them. I'm not sure why I haven't picked up any more Duke Snider cards. I just have one, and in fact, it's a card that I didn't even buy. It was one that I won in a contest that G's Mikey did. Oh my gosh, I bet you 3-4 years ago, and it was again, it's the only Duke Snider card I have in my collection. It's his 1958 Topps card. If I recall, G's Mikey had 3 cards that he was giving away as part of a contest he was doing, and the Duke Snider card was the only one of the 3 that was in a PSA slab. And I remember thinking to myself that if I won one of the 3 winners of his contest, that I hoped that I'd be able to get the Duke Snider card, because again, it goes along with my other collection with they're all being in PSA slabs, except for a few BVG slab cards. And sure enough, not only was I one of the 3 winners, but it worked out that I got the Duke Snider card. So I'll always remember this as a G's Mikey contest winning card. So here's the front, and here's the back. Since I only have one card, we'll take a closer look at the back here. It said last year was the 5th consecutive season the Duke has belted more than 40 homers. Though his average sagged a bit in 56, he showed the tremendous power that's made him one of the most feared sluggers. And down here it says Duke twice hit 4 home runs in a series. And then here it says his 43 home runs in 56 led the National League. So there's his 58 Topps card, the only card I have of Duke Snider, but certainly not the only one hopefully I'll ever have in my collection. Hopefully I'll pick up some more. Now let's talk about season 2 of this video series that I've been doing. There have been a lot of suggestions in the last several videos. We appreciate all your suggestions for the players for season 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to come up with another 40 players. We'll see what the total is. I already have some ideas of who some of the players are going to be. I'm going to obviously take a look at your suggestions. May not fit all of them into my list, but we'll see. If you do have some other final suggestions, we'll love to know in the comments of what players you would like me to have part of season 2. So next week's video, I'm going to announce and go over the players that are going to be part of the season 2, and I'll go over the results of all of your comments, letting me know which were your top 5 favorite Duke Snider cards. So with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.